Hello everybody, we're here at Class B Girls Final at the George Brendler Field. We have PHS Hornets in the orange going from right to left. We have the Beekmantown Eagles in the white going from left to right. We're at the George Brendler Field once I already mentioned that, and I'll probably mention it 5-6 more times. My name is Joe Poissant. On the microphone, Calvin Castine on the camera for this hometown cable finals action. We both these teams had different routes getting here. PHS has struggled earlier in the season, and talking to Coach Mulligan, he was kind of optimistically surprised to be here, I should say. They had a tougher route where Beekmantown ranked very high in its state. They have not been defeated yet, and in action they only had one tie to Peru, which they got back at Peru in the semifinal action here at the George Brendler Field last week. They pounced on Peru and beat them soundly 4-0, and it could have been a lot worse due to the early goal by Callie Villemere and the 3 goals after that by Jess Huber. And they are the 2 threats for Beekmantown, and PHS is going to counter. They have Marley Curl up front. Justine Rotes gets in the action also, and Brooke Knight. They are some of the main scorers that PHS does counter with. They're going to have to come right at the Beekmantown, though, if they can possibly get an early goal and hang on, but you're going to have to hang on for a long time because Beekmantown has a lot of firepower up front. Like I said, both these teams had different routes, but then again, you have to respect PHS. They've been here to the finals many times. Some of these young ladies, I'm looking at some of the names: Madison Trombley, Kylie Wilkins, who's also a good player, a couple of those captains right there. They've been through the battles before, and they talking to Coach Mulligan, he does like this George Brendler Field due to the size of it. It is a wider and longer field, and it will help them to spread the field out. So we'll see if it works. Right now, ball's just being kind of bounced around by both teams, and in the middle right here, number 10, LeClaire for PHS, just kicking it up. Oh, trying to find number 2. I'm trying to look for number 2 on PHS, and I don't see it. That is number 2, right, Calvin? Or am I being... That's 7. You see my old eyes. Haley McLaughlin there had a decent chance to get one. Can't see with that ponytail in the way. So we know her number. McLaughlin, number 7, had a halfway decent chance here early going. And Waterbury trying to kick it up to Villemere. Villemere trying to get it. Oh, nice move by Villemere. Villemere with some space. And she still has space. Villemere with some good moves and some speed. Still going wide, being challenged by number 9, Cardenright. Villemere going end line. Villemere services up to Huber. And Huber pounds it right in there. That was some hard work by Villemere, basically carrying the ball 50 yards or more and getting all kinds of space, beating the defensive PHS, and Huber tacking one in for an early goal, and that's 37-24 left in his first half. Beekmantown pounding one in early. We will be back in a moment. All right, we're back to action, and both these teams going back to the records. Beekmantown has had their way with PHS this season, beating them 4-0 both games. And Beekmantown getting out to the early lead, 1-0. We're going to see if PHS can recover from this. They do have some youth, but like I said, they do have some ladies who have been through the trenches in these games before. Last year they lost a hard-fought final match to the Peru Indians. PHS did, and Beekmantown's kind of new here, to the finals. They haven't been here lately, so right there they give themselves a pretty good spot, and that was some fabulous work by Villemere, just burning right by the whole defense, basically coming down the left side of that defense, and she put on some good moves right from the middle of the field. And Calvin, I'm surprised nobody really challenged her. I mean,
no body on her.
Nobody.
Just wide open.
Huber's wide open in the middle. You just nobody's there.
You don't leave Huber open.
No, you don't. I mean, this is what she does, and Huber's right back at it, the Villemere and Huber connection. And number 9, Justine Rotz with a decent restart out here from distance, but Lauren O'Connor, the keeper for Beekmantown, rolls it out to her left side of that defense. Waterbury does a good job controlling that midfield, I notice. Does a very good job, Bailey Waterbury.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
a family.
familiar name. If anybody follows soccer in the North Country, both her parents are coaches for Plattsburgh State, so I'm sure she has had a lot of training and time on the ball. And usually your midfielders are your best all-around players, and it shows why. And PHS trying to get something together and having a tough time. PHS trying to go over to the top. Ball goes out the end line. That was going to be a goal kick for Beekmantown. Beekmantown would love this game just to settle down into a nice, boring fiasco. Just to, nobody really does any more damage. But Beekmantown, they came right out and scored. They did the same thing against Peru, Calvin.
It's Villamere just so fast, and Huber's, they're just a good combination.
They are a good combination.
One's a freshman, one's a senior.
That's the good part. Beekmantown has Villamere coming back for 3 more years, so we'll be seeing a lot of her. Maybe they can get somebody else besides Huber to get a good combination, because these teams are going to be facing Villamere. They may not like that. These defenses are going to have to figure something out.
Well, maybe Shazy could offer a full scholarship.
No problem. 95 LaPointe Road, we have an extra room. Karen, Coach Trombley wouldn't like that. Oh, not a bad spot here for Seven McLaughlin again. Seems like PHS is keeping the ball in the Beekmantown area, but everything is soft going to O'Connor. Beekmantown's defense playing decent, not allowing close-in shots, but McLaughlin's had a couple of chances here to get some decent shots off. Both teams really not getting their passing game going so far. No team really controlling per se. A lot of this kind of stuff going on, going over the top. A good defense right there by Beekmantown. Waterbury having some good help. And number 4 for Beekmantown getting in on the action. Casey going end line again and getting a service that goes off the end line. It's going to be a goal kick for PHS. 33-36 left first half. Beekmantown out with a 1-0 lead early in this first half. A really one-person show with Villamere, and she just gave it up to a wide-open Huber, and Huber buried that. And that's why Huber's there. And both those teams, that combination is great. Those two. Here's Waterbury being challenged. The ball goes off the foot of Waterbury, and 15 for Beekmantown is Schwartz. Schwartz trying to... Oh, nice move right there by Marley Curl. Curl trying to center, but nobody there for PHS. Knight challenging 17 for PHS. Colby Lyon. Oh, and there's a shot from distance from Trombley. Ball goes back out to the midfield. Beekmantown calmly settles it down. Nice play by number 17 out there, Lyon again. I got to get these two teams going. That's Kluke. Oh, Beekmantown with another chance. Deadly Huber with the ball. Huber gets loose again. Let's go with a shot. Nice save by O'Connor for Beekmantown. And they can't keep doing that, Calvin, because that's too tempting for Huber and Villamere, that front, that offensive threats up there. Beekmantown having a couple of breakdowns, or PHS, I should say, having a couple of breakdowns in their defense.
Huber's so quick, and she keeps control of that ball.
Yes, she does. You notice the ball doesn't go away from her. Villamere's the same way. The ball stays. It seems like they have glue on their feet, and they put some good moves on.
It's like it's a yo-yo.
Nice service from Beekmantown, and Carly Neal, the keeper for PHS, picks that up. I had those mixed up earlier. Now I have my papers correct. I hope for the rest of the game we'll find out. And Waterbury for Beekmantown getting up. Nice receive by Villamere. She just receives the ball so smoothly, and then you see her make a good move, but she just receives it. She doesn't trap it, doesn't stop it. She knows what she's going to do with the ball before she gets it. She has a good instinct for it.
Which keeps the ball flowing.
That's what she does. And here's Waterbury with a nice service. Waterbury, nobody there for Beekmantown, and cleared out by the defense, and PHS going to try something here is Brooke Knight with the ball in the middle of the field being challenged. Oh, nice defensive play by number 19 for Beekmantown, Megan Bull, to stop that. PHS trying to get it back in again. And it goes off the foot of Knight. And Bull will take the throw in on the near side at the halfway mark. Trying to find anybody, and it goes to 15 for Carlson for PHS. Goes off Beekmantown, the foot of Beekmantown player, and Carlson with a quick throw in, trying to find Knight. He does. Knight being challenged very strongly. Knight gets rid of the ball, but it goes on the foot of number 12 for Beekmantown Peterson, and Waterbury playing a strong game here, but it's going to be a Beekmantown throw, and Waterbury gets in quick trying to find Huber, and kicked in the middle of the field, and 17 for Beekmantown. Kluge heading it up, and Huber for Beekmantown. Oh, what a nice pass from Huber. Good touch, and here goes Villamere again being challenged. Villamere got by him, and he had a player down for PHS on the defense, and Tommy Kovlowski, the official in the middle, is seeing that she's okay, and she is. Luckily, she gets back up. No stoppage of play with 29:54 left in the first half. Beekmantown up 1-0 against PHS in this final at the George Brendler Field. And I will mention the other officials. The line judges are the handsome Barry Norton on the near side and Flashbulb Bayshard on the far side. So we have some experienced officiating here for this Class B sectional championship girls game at the George Brendler Field. So let these teams get back at it. And number 9 is Justine Rotes getting a restart. And good job by Trombley getting a turn on that. And number 3 giving Marley Curl, who's a dangerous playmaker for PHS. Marley Curl gets a beautiful service in the center. And 7, McLaughlin again. McLaughlin, it's 3 times now. She's had decent chances, but Beekmantown has shut her down. That was a nice, some good work by Marley Curl on that far side to try to get that service in. She had all kinds of eagles around her, but she still got it away. And 4 for Beekmantown Casey. And Bull with the ball and kicked out by defense, not very well. And Huber trying to do a little flick up to Villamere, but that's intercepted by number 10, LeClaire. LeClaire getting it over to number 6, Wilkins. And Wilkins lets go with a weak shot that goes to O'Connor, the keeper for Beekmantown. O'Connor, she gets a nice goal kick off, trying to find anybody. And Villamere, as usual, comes up with it. Villamere goes wide with the ball. And 17 challenging for a Kluge. Kluge still with the possession for Beekmantown in the PHS zone. All kinds of space, trying to go wide to Huber. Huber goes over to Villamere, the nice head pass. Villamere lets go with a shot that goes just wide. And some good work here by Beekmantown. And number 2 checking in for Beekmantown, Shanae Jodwin. And coming off the field for Beekmantown is number 11, Kylie Regan.
Stevie's girl.
Yeah, he was just up here visiting with us. And we couldn't get a donation out of him, could we? We'll have to hit him up the next time. Hear that, Steve? Both these teams playing well now. They've kind of settled down. Both teams getting some decent chances. Beekmantown getting the better of the chances with Villamere and Huber up front. And there's a decent shot from distance from number 2 who just checked into the game, Shanae Jodwin. And getting ready to check in for Beekmantown is number 6, Rebecca Lapierre. Ball being settled down, and number 3, Marley Curl, being challenged by 17, Bull. And 8, Madison Trombley going to the middle for LeClaire. LeClaire trying to find Curl again, and it goes to number 8, Madison Trombley. Madison Trombley being good defense by Huber and number 4, Casey for Beekmantown. Huber with the ball being challenged, taken down, and going to be at, she got kind of hurt, the PHS player. She made the strong challenge, but she goes down. That is number 9, Justine Rotes. She made a strong challenge, and down she went. Thank you very much. And you know, Corey is not just an EMT guy. His wife is a wonderful person. Kathy, what's your name?
Alice.
Alice. Hey, Corey, you married a very nice lady. Thank you. Did you shop for you one, Calvin?
No.
Would you like one?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Oh, what a nice gesture here on a cold evening. You know, the temperature, what was the temperature, Calvin, tonight?
40 when I arrived.
40 degrees and dropping. The wind was blowing quite heavily from the west to the east, and now the Flag is just drifting a little bit that way, so the wind has calmed down and temperature will drop. You can notice all these young ladies, they have the Under Armour on, that black Under Armour to keep them warm, and PHS keeps trying to punch that in the middle, and maybe they should have taken it wide, and it goes over to Waterbury. And Beekmantown put on a pretty good display of passing here in this early going. We have 25:37 left, and PHS just dumps it out of bounds, and I'm glad to see number 9 for PHS back on her feet, and that would be Justine Rotes, one of the captains. And Curl just kind of sends it to the field, middle of the field, and Beekmantown punches it back in, and Curl gets it back. Whole bunch of kicking, and Coach Mulligan's telling him to organize, and he is saying the right thing. And number 10 challenging for the ball, Beekmantown Putnam, and Brooke Knight going after it, and that will be a corner kick for PHS, and this is the first corner kick that they have of either team has had. PHS are not giving them any shots on the scoreboard, and Beekmantown is awarded 4 at this moment. Checking in for the Hornets momentarily is going to be number 21, Kelsey Senecal. And a good restart here, a chance for PHS. What can they do with it? Oh, and number 3, Curl, just got ahead on it, and Beekmantown's going to have to do a little bit better defending on those, because PHS had a decent chance right there. Like I said, coming off is Haley McLaughlin, who's had a couple of decent chances for Coach Mulligan's Hornets, but nothing to show for it so far. And a decent goal kick. Both teams just challenging for it on the far side, and it will go out of bounds, and it'll be a PHS throw-in. Both these teams, they match up pretty well size-wise, Calvin. I'm looking at, there's not really any discrepancy, both these teams are, the height-wise, there's really no big advantage, so it's not going to be a big deal when it comes to corner kicks. And 15 for the Hornets. Bumps it back in. Carlson kicked around. Number 8, Madison Trombley, one of the captains, giving a decent push in, but it's going to be a goal kick, and that was a decent hustle by Kylie Wilkins, but to no avail. Beekmantown still with a early goal, giving them a 1-0 lead with 23:30 left in the first half of the George Brendler Field. My name is Joe Poisson, Calvin Cass, and I'm the camera. This is a hometown cable special. How about that, Calvin? We'll call it a special this evening. Might as well. I'm sure make more people tune in. We have a decent-sized crowd here at the George Brendler Field on a crisp, cool fall night, November 4th, and 12 for Beekmantown. Just kicks that out of bounds. Peterson. PHS putting on some pressure now. And good defense. Jodolin and battling against Curl. There's a restart. Almost. He did call a foul against the defense of Beekmantown on that far side, so it was very similar to a corner kick. So PHS, see what they can do with this one. They had a decent chance at last time, and a nice kick. PHS getting ahead on it, and nobody really kicks it too hard for Beekmantown, so it goes out to the top of the box. And number 9, Rotes, serves it back in, and 21 tries to service it Senecal, and kicked out by the defense. Just clear, but it's intercepted by number 15 for the Hornets, Carlson. Carlson loses possession and kicked downtown wisely by number 6 for Beekmantown, Lapeer. And Villamere and number 10, PHS LeClaire going at it. Villamere still retains possession like she usually does. Villamere trying to service it, and some decent game-type defense by PHS thwarts that attempt. And number 11 checking in for Beekmantown is Kylie Regan, checking back into the game. And coming out was number 4, Carly Casey. And Villamere with the ball as usual. Villamere being challenged by just about all the defense, and tries to get a cross on, well defended by PHS that time, and kicked up to number 3, Curl. Curl puts on a slick little move here in the middle of the field, still with possession, and she's going to look to go wide wisely, and unfortunately it goes to the foot of number 15 for Beekmantown, Schwartz. The ball does go out of bounds, and PHS retains possession, and number 3 going to get that Curl. She's all over the place. It's 6 Wilkins with a throw-in, and number 8 Trombley fighting for possession for PHS. It goes off her foot. Beekmantown throw-in, checking back into the game is number 14 for Beekmantown, Jess Huber, and coming out of the game is Callie Villamere, giving both these young ladies a little rest with 20:55 left in the first half. Beekmantown is coached by Miss Erin Norris, and she's got to be very, very happy with her team this year. An unbeaten record, just one tie against Peru late in the season, and they came back and took that one back and by beating Peru to get here. And PHS coached by Tim Mulligan, a Shazy alumni. You can't really say Beekmantown is dominating. You know, they've had some decent chances, Calvin, but they're nearly not dominating per se.
Plattsburgh had some good chances too.
Plattsburgh has, so they, even though they had that early goal scored against them, they haven't packed up their bags and ready to hit the bus yet. They know they have some game left, and that's got to come from their seniors. You see this, like I said, you see some of these young ladies. They're always in the paper. The Rhodes girl, Trombley, Curl, Wilkins. These ladies have been around, so they got to step it up and show these youngsters how it's done. But Beekmantown has other thoughts here, I'm sure. Beekmantown would love nothing than to win a sectional championship. I don't remember the last time Beekmantown has won a girls' sectional championship. I know they have, but I am not familiar with their team, I should say, that I can give you a date, but I think it has been a little while.
I'm trying to remember the few years back when the Phantom buzzer went off.
Phantom buzzer.
Well,
that's some controversy, did we?
There was so much noise that nobody could hear the buzzer, and the goal was scored at the last second. And it sent Beekmantown and I think Peru into overtime. And I can't remember. I think Beekmantown came out on top, but I don't know that for certain. But it's a goal that came right at the buzzer, and I think that's one of the reasons that for a year or two they stopped putting 2 minutes up. When they get to 2 minutes, they'd stop the clock on the scoreboard. But they didn't do it last night in Sable Valley, so I don't imagine they're going to do it again tonight either.
We'll see. We'll see how it works out. I don't know if that's a call by the officials, by the section or what, or even by the state. I don't know how that works out.
I don't know, but I do know, and the only people who know how much time is left is the official. Nobody can argue.
That's true. I'll tell you what, that coffee tastes very good up here by Allison Thompson. I do appreciate that. That's a nice service by Beekmantown, and Beekmantown seems to be taking a little bit more possession of this game down in the PHS end with 18-17 left in the first half. Beekmantown up 1-0 on an early goal from some beautiful work by Callie Villemer, basically going the distance of the field, then going end line and servicing to a wide open Jesse Huber. And so here's Bailey Waterbury with a corner kick for Beekmantown. PHS not doing a good job defending that. They don't let that ball land. That is any team, they have to practice that. Number 2 for Beekmantown is Jodoin on that far side, just back passing it to 10. Putnam with some space, trying to get it to the middle. Number 5 for Beekmantown, it'd be number 6. Lapeer in the middle, trying to get over, and Brooke Knight for PHS. Challenging Waterbury number 14 for PHS is Lattenville. Goes off her foot. Nice pass, but intercepted by PHS number 17, Lyon. They're busy in the middle, both these teams, really not spreading that field too wide. 15 for PHS Carlson, just sending it up, but Waterbury for Beekmantown gets in, retains possession, but she's taken off the ball by number 3, Curl, who gives it to number 10, LeClaire. LeClaire trying to go wide and just kicked back in by Beekmantown. And both teams just kind of booting the ball. Nobody's really passing. Here he goes, number 8, just making a liar out of me, Trombley, and that's fine because I like seeing the good passing in. Curl coming over to the near side to number 15, Carlson. 15, Carlson trying to find 21, Senecal, and Senecal does try to go in the middle, but Waterbury's there once again, and Waterbury just sends the ball out of bounds on the near side. And throwing for Beekmantown and checking back into the game here and momentarily for Beekmantown is number 14, Villamere, and number 4, Casey. Throwing for PHS, and nice move by Curl. Curl showing some good skill and speed, and she's taken off the ball by number 12, Peterson. Good defense by Peterson, using her body and thwarting that attack because Curl does have some speed. Curl with the ball, trying to get a service across, and she does. and headed out by number 12, Beekmantown Peterson. And she gets a ball back, sending it down, but number 4, Duquette. She's kind of quiet in this game. I haven't mentioned her name too much, so Duquette needs to get more involved. And 21 is Senecal. Senecal in the middle, and 8, Trombley, getting them back over to Senecal, and number 10, LeClaire for PHS being challenged by 11, Bull for Beekmantown, goes off her foot, and it's going to be a throw-in for Beekmantown. Coming off the field for the Eagles of Beekmantown is Lapeer. And number 2, Jodwin. Number 4 for Beekmantown with the throwing, Carly Casey on this near side. And headed by 3, Curl. And number 14 just kicks it downtown, excuse me, that's not number 14, that is 19. My old eyes, 19 is Bull. Should have known her by now. And 10 for Beekmantown. Putnam just trying to set it up for Villamere, and she does. Villamere gets possession, challenged by number 10 for PHS, LeClaire, and going to be a foul against Beekmantown, and another restart here in the zone of PHS. Still trailing Beekmantown 1-0 with 14:35 left to go in the first half. Nice kick for PHS, and goes over the head of number 4, Duquette. Duquette and 15, trying to find 15 is Carlson, trying to figure out who wants the ball, and finally Carlson gets a hold of it. And 6, Wilkins just sending the ball into the middle. Up to Curl. Wilkins just sending it one deep, trying to find one over the top. And here we go. Oh my, here goes a great chance for PHS. And Knight just goes wide with the ball. And PHS with another decent chance to tie this game here with the first half with 14 minutes left in this first half. That was PHS's best chance. Some good work from the middle going over the top. And number 6, Wilkins involved in that play. Number 3, Curley, I should say. Curley involved in that play, but Brooke Knight with a really golden chance to tie this game up before the half could end. Like I said, we have a little bit less than 14 minutes. And another foul against Beekmantown. Beekmantown, I don't know, these really aren't that rough of fouls, Calvin, for a finals game, but Mr. Kowalowski is calling it close. And here's a decent chance for a restart out here for PHS. And number 9 gets a good foot on that, Justine Rotes, and 3 in on that, Curley. PHS putting some good pressure on Beekmantown here the last 4 minutes or so. Beekmantown has withstood it. And goalkeeper O'Connor come off her line on that last one, and Brooke Knight just missing a goal wide. Looks like PHS going to go for are they going to go for a short corner? We're going to find out. Yeah, they do go for a short corner, challenged well by Beekmantown's Waterbury. Waterbury still challenged, but PHS does get the cross in, but it does go off the foot of number 6, Wilkins, and nothing to do with that for PHS. Beekmantown would love it to settle down just a little bit, and checking into the game for Beekmantown is number 16. Frederick coming off is number 19, Bull. Bull's giving Coach Norris a good game here so far, playing good defense. Goal kick kind of short, and Beekmantown headed off Huber, goes back in the zone, and number 10 for Putnam goes off her head, and Beekmantown just can't clear it. And number 12, Peterson, just sends it downtown, and she has to go wide here. That's what she should be doing, but she's not. But we'll just go right back to Beekmantown off the foot of number 9 for PHS, Rotes. And here we go with Justine Huber being challenged by Rotes. Oh my. Huber showing you what you can do. She retains possession on a good play, sending it into the middle, trying to find anybody. Villamere was there, but it's kind of desperate defense by PHS, and they came through with that one. That goes on the foot of Waterbury again. She goes wide over here to number 4, Casey. Sends it in the middle and kicked out by the defense of PHS. Well, here we go, number 11 for Beekmantown. Regan trying to find Villamere, but that just kicked out again by PHS, and it goes wide from number 15 for Beekmantown. A good play by Schwartz. This has actually been a relatively entertaining game, Calvin.
Yeah.
Not bad. Definitely not one-sided, that's for sure. And checking in for the game for PHS, McLaughlin. Coach Mulligan doing a little adjustment here, it looks like. Coming off the field for PHS. Number 17 is a Lion. And we have 10 minutes and 36 seconds left first half. Beekmantown up in this Class B girls final at the George Brendler Field. Oh, nice service by Waterbury. And number 9, Carnwright, just trying to do something with it. Excuse me, that'd be number 9, Roots. Ball goes to the middle. Neither team really wants a whole lot of possession. They're trying to get some passing going, but the other team is doing a good job intercepting them, not allowing these girls a turn. Beekmantown has probably had a little bit of possession, I should say, but PHS has put some pressure on them here. But Beekmantown seems to be getting their legs back with number 21, Waterbury. I've called their name a lot. Waterbury trying to go in line. Waterbury, ooh, nice play by the defense right there. Trying to get her number. It's far away from my old eyes. Calvin, can you get it?
I can't remember which one it was now.
It was the far one. I'm trying to get her now. It was a good play on the defense. Maybe number 10, LeClaire, for PHS it was. And number 3 kicks it wide for PHS. Going to be a Beekmantown throw-in on the far side. We're at the 9-minute and 16-second mark. PHS Beekmantown. PHS in the orange and Beekmantown in the white. And number 9 for PHS just unloads on the ropes. Goes in the middle field and punch back in. And Huber and Villamere. Villamere on top of the box. Very dangerous with a slick move. But a decent defensive play just to stop that shot. It was 21 for PHS Senecal. Stopping that shot by Villamere. Villamere had putting on some slick moves. Clever moves, and Roach trying to clear it. She doesn't do a good enough job, and Beekmantown gets a shot away. That would be number 11 for the Eagles, Regan, or excuse me, 17 for Kluke. There's Regan there for Beekmantown being challenged by Wilkins. Wilkins gets ball, being challenged by Regan. Wilkins bumps Regan, and the ball goes out of bounds. Going to be a Beekmantown throw-in, far side. And 17 for Beekmantown getting that ball. Kluke in the action once again, trying to find Huber. Huber goes far down the line. Oh, Huber gets possession, but there will be a call against Huber. Push, and PHS is going to get a long restart in their zone on the far side with 8 minutes and 1 second left. First half action. Beekmantown up 1-0 against PHS. And goals. One of the goal scorers, Villamere, trying to do something with it and goes up to Curley. And decent defense by number 15, Schwartz. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be another Beekmantown throw-in on the far side. Getting ready to check in the game for Coach Mulligan's Hornets is number 23, Brooke Knight, who had a great chance probably about 6 or 7 minutes ago to tie this game, but decent defense by Beekmantown stopped that, and checking back into the game is number 17, Colby Lyon for the Hornets. And we're back to action and a throw-in, and PHS just, Beekmantown is doing a good job with their swarming defense, you know. But you notice everybody's on that side of the field. It seems this is a very wide field, and if you know that's a good chance right here for Beekmantown once again, and good defense by number 9, Rotes, stopping Huber, but
yeah, they're not taking advantage of the size.
They're not taking advantage of it. You know, she goes right back into, you know, Haley, number 7, McLaughlin, go wide, but number 6, Wilkins. Oh, good defense by number 14 on that far side. Or it isn't 14, it'd be 17. Kluke. PHS throwing in. Curley with a nice service. Ooh, not fielded very well by O'Connor. Luckily nobody was there to pounce on that for PHS. She came off her line. And PHS trying to get a little something going after having a few attacks, or withstanding some attacks, I should say, from Beekmantown. And number 8, Madison Trombley, gets possession, go up to Brooke Knight. Brooke Knight being challenged by number 12, Peterson, and Peterson does a good job getting rid of that out of bounds on the far side. And PHS going to set up for a throw-in. Gets a quick one in up to Curley. Curley, the speedster, trying to get a service in. She's blocked, but she still retains possession and goes back to 6 Wilkins. Wilkins is defended very well by the defense, and it goes off Waterbury for Beekmantown. It'll be a PHS throw-in on the far side. And Curley does finally get a cross in. And 12 Peterson heads it back out, and Waterbury trying to get rid of it and kicked back in by PHS up to Knight. And Knight with a decent chance and defended well by Beekmantown and kicked out. And 21 with Senecal just sending it back in for the Hornets in the top of the box trying to find Knight. And Knight does lose possession and kicked out weakly by Beekmantown, I should say. And no, I do not know if that was a foul, Calvin. I think she was just kind of out of control, but this is a great chance here for PHS to get on the board. They're down 1-0 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first half. And number 8 setting up for the restart outside the box is number 8, Madison Trombley. She gets a good shot away, and O'Connor comes up cleanly with that. But a decent chance for PHS out here. And O'Connor, the keeper for Beekmantown, just letting her defense set back up. PHS coming back with another flurry, Calvin.
They've kept the pressure on it.
It seems like it's back and forth this game. You're definitely not just keeping your camera. You can't take a coffee break here. Both these teams getting some decent chances. We have Hornets have only been awarded 1 shot right now, and Beekmantown 4, but it does seem like the Hornets have had a few more than that.
Yeah, that wasn't the first shot right there.
I don't think so. They're being skipped over some of those shots. I think the Hornets, they put on a little bit more pressure in that. McLaughlin's had a few chances, and Brooke Knight, and defended well again by PHS, kicking it back out. And 17 for Beekmantown, Kluke on the far side. Being challenged, Kluke does get the service in, but it's intercepted by the defense of PHS and just kicked back out. And Waterbury can't handle it, and she wisely comes to the near side wide, and number 4 for Beekmantown, Casey's going to try to get it up to Huber. Huber being challenged by Rotes, and Huber gets a weak shot off. And Carly Neal, the keeper for PHS, comes up with that cleanly, letting her team get set up. Getting a decent goal kick. Both teams challenging for the ball. Knight versus number 17 for Beekmantown, Kluke, and PHS retains possession with Marley Curl with a lot of space and a lot of time with that ball, and that's not a bad play right there. Let it go wide, keep possession. Over to Senecal. Senecal just kicks the ball up. Now, she could have probably taken a touch there. Handball not called, but she kicks the ball out of bounds. That would be Duquette. Getting ready to check in for the Hornets momentarily, number 15, Olivia Carlson. Both teams just kind of seems weird, just a 1-0 score here with Beekmantown dominating both these games that they played against PHS. So PHS's defense is solidified. This is what they do, though. Beekmantown does. They move the ball very well. Oh, nice play here by McLaughlin, intercepting that. McLaughlin trying to do something with it and goes off her foot on this near side. It can be a throw-in for Beekmantown. Number 4, Carly Casey is going to give it to number 16, Frederick. Frederick trying to find Huber, headed by Curley, and number 4 goes off the foot of Casey and is going to, goes off Duquette's foot. And number 16 for Beekmantown, Frederick with a throw-in. And number 7, McLaughlin trying to get it to somebody. And there's a whole bunch of Hornets around that ball right now. If you can look at it, that's what they have to do, just spread that field. But she does kick it. Because Beekmantown is playing wide, they do get to possession. And number 11 for Beekmantown kicking it up is Regan, trying to find Huber, and kicked out of bounds by Senecal. Going to be a throw-in for Beekmantown on that far side with just about 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Beekmantown is moving the ball well. Good play by McLaughlin coming up in that, but not a good play giving it to Villamere. McLaughlin staying after it, and Waterbury with a shot from distance, kind of weak. And Huber was on the top of that, and that's dumped out of the end zone at the end line by number 17, Colby Lyon for the Hornets. Is going to be a corner kick for Beekmantown with 45 seconds left. Beekmantown still up 1-0 on an early goal. With Villamere assisting on some great individual effort on a goal to Huber. And no goals have scored since then. And Villamere, the always deadly and present young lady, down there goes off her. And it will be a goal kick for PHS. Number 15, like I said, Olivia Carlson checking in for Coach Mulligan's Hornets. And we're at the about 15-second mark, and coming off the field, giving him some good minutes, is number 21, Kelsey Senecal, playing very well on that right defense for PHS. So this is how this first half is going to end, with Beekmantown up 1-0 over PHS in this Class B finals at the George Brendler Field. Today's date is November 4th, 2011. My name is Joe Poisson on the microphone, Calvin Casson on the camera. We will be back in a moment.
10 minutes.
All right, we're back in second half of this Class B sectional final, Section 7 game at the George Brendler Field. The Beekmantown Eagles versus the PHS Hornets. Beekmantown with a 1-0 lead off an early goal of some great individual effort by Beekmantown's Villamere, feeding a wide open Huber just for probably the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the game to give Beekmantown the only score so far of this game. They've had a couple chances since, and so hasn't PHS. PHS's number 7, Haley McLaughlin, had a couple chances, and Brooke Knight had a golden opportunity. So both these teams going at it. And PHS's keeper coming off the line, Carly Neal, letting her team get set up. Beekmantown with some early pressure. Bailey Waterbury for Beekmantown has been playing very well, number 21, as well as Villamere and Huber, of course. Also, Miss Kluke for Beekmantown has been playing very well. And then number 3, Curley, number 6, Wilkins, has been playing well for PHS, also along with number 8, Madison Trombley, and number 9, Justin Rotes. Has been kind of the standouts that I've noticed early in this game. And we'll see what transpires here in the second half. Headed out by PHS up to Knight. Knight being challenged by 17 for Beekmantown is Kluke. And with a move here, it goes off the foot of Waterbury.
Here we go, pressure up. Into the corner.
And we have a special guest here this evening in the booth, Vince Villamere, the uncle of Callie Villamere, who's put on a pretty good show here the last couple of games she's played at the George Brendler Field. And Vince, how do you feel about your niece?
Well, she's a lot better than I ever was.
We all were, but that's okay. Actually, you were a goalkeeper. That's not fair.
Yeah, oh well.
You were a goalkeeper. You were actually a very good one. Being called upon. I remember our senior year. You never played it before.
No. Well, I didn't have any skills as an actual soccer player, so I figured I'd do okay in goal.
You did phenomenally in goal. You had a lot of practice that year. But Callie is a very good player, very talented player. She has good speed and she can finish too. I don't know, were you here for that first goal that Beekmantown scored?
Yes, I was.
That was a great individual effort on her part. I got on that goal. Both these teams are going at it pretty hard.
A lot of pushing and shoving going on.
Oh, that's what's going to happen in these games.
North Country soccer.
It's actually better than what it used to be too. They actually have skills now. And I think some of these girls teams could give some of the boys teams from 30 years ago. They give them a run. Oh, it's a good feed up to Villamere as we speak. Because Villamere is trying to go wide, and nobody there. Kicked out of bounds by number 4 Duquette. For PHS, is going to be a throw-in on the far side for Beekmantown with 36:53 left in the second half. Beekmantown up 1-0 over PHS in this Class B Section 7 finals at the George Brendler Field. Today is November 4th, 2011. All right, hey Vince, thanks for popping up. Okay. And 17 in the middle of the field for Beekmantown, trying to get control of that, and does, is Kluke, who's had a fine game. Kluke heading it up, trying to find Huber. Huber railed by number 9 Rotes. Huber falls down and gets up quickly, no call. We're going to get more physical. You go down in the middle like that for any kind of a ball, and you're going to expect some kind of physical play, and there was definitely some there by Rotes. There's nothing egregious or dirty about it, just good physical play. Both players going for the ball. And Beekmantown with a decent chance here. They're getting a corner kick. It's their second corner kick so far of the game. At least that's going by the scoreboard. The scoreboard says PHS only has one shot, but we think they might have more. Oh, a beautiful corner kick. And not defended well by PHS. And it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be another corner kick for Beekmantown. PHS is going to have to do a better job defending. You don't let that ball land. That is imperative. Clear the ball out any which way you can, but do not let that ball land. And Waterbury with it goes wide with it. Kind of wasted that one. It's going to be a goal kick for PHS. Beekmantown putting some pressure on the Hornets here early in the second half, up 1-0. They're not satisfied with just one. Decent goal kick. And Waterbury and number 8, Trombley fighting for possession. Both teams going for it, and Kluke going right up the middle. Oh, good job by Villamere fighting her off. Villamere being good defense by PHS. Oh, and a decent shot, but goes wide. And number 17 stepping up, playing good defense for PHS that time is Lyon. Thwarting that chance by Villamere. And a goal kick for the Hornets. Hornets have been buried in their end for extended period of time here in the second half. And that's one of the reasons right there is Huber, and the other reason right here is Villamere. Villamere, tenacious play by her. And number 4 goes by the foot of number 4 for Beekmantown, Casey, and 3 Curley putting on a couple of moves, being challenged by Casey. Curley trying to do something with it and goes off a defensive Beekmantown. It'll be a throw-in for PHS. Quick throw-in from Knight. And off the head of number 14, 17 for Beekmantown, but it doesn't really matter. PHS trying to retain possession. And Waterbury just sends a ball downfield, breaking up some pressure. Huber being challenged. She's going to pull it back a little bit. And Huber still after the ball. And it goes wide over to the far side for Beekmantown, and Waterbury goes wide again with it. I can't see the number of the Beekmantown player. It's probably number 17, Kluke. We'll find out. Kluke gets it now, actually. The 11, Regan. And Kluke going wide over to Waterbury. Waterbury being challenged by number 15 for PHS, Carlson. Goes off her foot. And Beekmantown throwing on the far side with 32:50 left second half. Beekmantown putting on some decent pressure here in the second half. Up 1-0 over the Hornets in Class B, Section 7 final action at the George Brendler Field. And another throw-in for Beekmantown and headed up by PHS. Regan trying to get control of it. Trying to send it in the center, and Brooke Knight kicks it, falls down, and it goes on the foot of number 6 for PHS, Wilkins. And she loses possession, and number 3, Curley, trying to do something with the ball. Curley getting over to Wilkins for PHS, putting on a decent display, trying to find Knight, and defended very well by Beekmantown's number 17, Lyon. Both teams just trying to struggle for possession, and Curley sending it back to Lyon. Just kicked out of bounds by Waterbury for Beekmantown. It's going to be a PHS throw-in. And Lyon with PHS on the near side here, lining up for the throw-in. And Wilkins goes off her foot, and number 10 gets that Putnam. And Waterbury sending the ball up. It's going to go wide, and kept in bounds by Lyon. Goes over to the middle. Set up by Rotes. Send back in. Both teams just kicking, booting, and not much of possession here. They got to find feet, and that is exactly what they got to do. And here's 11 Regan trying to find Huber, finding feet, and Villamere with a decent chance here, surrounded by all kinds of Hornets. Huber sends one in and kicked out by Lyon for the Hornets. And Beekmantown retains possession with Huber for Beekmantown with the ball, trying to find Villamere in the middle and kicked out again by PHS. Beekmantown gets possession again, going over to the middle and intercepted by number 3 Curley for the Hornets. She has possession, she passes back. And it goes off the player for Beekmantown on the far side. It looks like Regan, number 11. Yes, it is, and PHS throw-in. PHS gets a quick one in. Neither team, Calvin, seems can possess the ball for even like 4 passes. You know, it's happened very, very little. But you know, I don't think it's through lack of skill. It's just through the speed of the opposing team. They're playing good defense, both these teams.
Plus, they're not using the whole field.
They're not. That is the big thing. And you think that would be, they definitely would be doing that. You know, instead of, or just possess the ball right there. She had a wide open number 15 back here. For Beekmantown, you know, she had Schwartz wide open. Just possess the ball for a while instead of keep trying to drive it up front. You know, like there. You know, just possess the ball. And I know you're being harassed, you know, by the offense, but still, just possess, find feet. And neither team is really doing that well at the moment. And there's Huber. And a good job by number 15, Carlson. Ball goes off her foot. It's going to be a Beekmantown throw-in with 29:33 left in the second half. Class B finals. PHS Beekmantown duking it out. You know, it seems Beekmantown had their way with both games 4-0, and PHS they're not backing down. I mean, they've had a few chances, but the second half, I have to give the possession to Beekmantown.
Well, when Beekmantown scored that early goal and it came so easy, it looked like it was going to be a long night for Plattsburgh, but Plattsburgh has stepped up since
then. They have. You know, their midfield has played well. This is what they got to stop right here. And stopper they did. They stopped Villamere, but Huber does retain possession for Beekmantown, being challenged by number 15, Carlson. Huber with a decent cross inside and easily collected by the keeper for Beekmantown, Lauren O'Connor. Or excuse me, Neely. I get my papers mixed up again. Neely, other team set up. PHS needs to get a little breather here, and a good job by Kluke for Beekmantown sending it in. And a nice little slip move by Sierra Duquette for PHS. Both teams just booming, and Wilkins goes back to 10. Claire, 10 back to Wilkins. Wilkins with some speed and some skill, trying to go by 15 Schwartz. And good team defense by Beekmantown, checking in for the game for the Eagles. Beekmantown number 2, Jodo, and a number 6, Lapierre, and coming off the field, Villamere. Yes, 21 going in for Plattsburgh. The Hornets is Kelsey Senecal, who gave PHS some good minutes coming off the field. McLaughlin for the Hornets. I don't know who else came off for Beekmantown. Catch that. But the regular play-by-play man, Joey Trombley, would have been right on top of that, Calvin. Of course, he does have help sometimes.
It's easier when you know one of the teams their entire life.
Oh, it is. Or even knowing half of the players from a team is good. It's no excuses. Oh my, Huber taken down hard on the far side. She's slow getting up. And there is a foul awarded to Beekmantown, and pretty good spot for them. They have a 1-0 lead. And Bailey Waterbury setting up on that far side. She does have the foot to reach that, and that's a nice service by Waterbury in the center, and Huber got a foot on it, but it goes off her foot and off the end line, and PHS is going to get another goal kick. 26 minutes and 47 seconds left of the second half. Beekmantown still up 1-0, Class B girls final, Section 7. Beekmantown putting on some decent pressure. PHS really has not had a decent chance this half. Not that Beekmantown has, but Beekmantown's keeping the ball down in the zone, or the end zone of PHS. And both teams trying to get something going. Here's Brooke Knight for the Hornets, trying to get something going, being challenged by number 4, Casey. Goes off the foot of Knight. Quick throw in for good defense right there by number 17, Lyon. And Beekmantown's going to get another throw in here in the near side. Actually, it's going to be awarded to PHS, and number 17, Lion, is going to take this one on the near side.
You gotta get in the middle, too.
Your team set up. She does have a wide open number 8, Madison Trombley. She doesn't see her, and she kind of wastes that one going down the sideline. 25:50 left here in second half. Beekmantown still with a 1-0 lead. PHS trying to get something going. And Casey with that throw in, trying to find Huber. She does. Huber puts on a clever little move, still with space going across to the center of the field laterally. Still with the ball, being challenged by 21, Senecal, but Huber still with the ball for quite a long time for a soccer game. It's usually you don't see a player hang on to the ball that long, and that goes over to number 17 for Beekmantown, Kluge. Trying to find Waterbury. Waterbury goes wide. Waterbury gets the ball back and going back in the middle to Kluge. Kluge wisely goes back, spreads that field. Like Calvin mentioned, use the field. As you can see, everybody, all the girls are on that side of the field, pretty much just using half of it, Calvin. There's only 2 young ladies on this side of the half mark, and both teams need to use the field judiciously, and they are not. They got to spread this field. They'd have much more success instead of putting the ball right back into pressure. Instead of just driving the ball up, she had a couple of ladies open here and just pass. Or even one pass and number 4 Case and get wide, but they're not doing it. And I think to have success in the regionals and even farther if these teams go, they will have to be more judicious with the use of the field and the ball. You just can't keep driving it up, and because these other teams' defenses are going to be better as you go along. And another throw-in for Beekmantown on the far side, and Waterbury kicking it in, and the defense for PHS kicking it out. Waterbury being challenged by Curl, going after each other, and Waterbury comes up on the top end of that battle. Waterbury sends one in, and headed out by the defense of PHS, but not strongly. And Huber giving chase, and due to the diligence of Huber, Beekmantown gets possession back. And 15 for Beekmantown. Schwartz going over to Casey over to the middle to Kluge up to Huber. Huber trying to do good team defense right there by PHS, and it goes up to number 8 Trombley. Trombley loses possession to Kluge, and on the far side, nice move. I got to get that lady's number. I think it's number 11, Regan taken down, and there will be a foul called against PHS. And they're going to stop the clock here. It probably will be some kind of a card coming out. It'll be a yellow card against PHS. That'd be number 4, Sierra Duquette. Beekmantown's been working it pretty hard on that far side, and Duquette comes off for a quick breather. Number 7 going there on a replacement, Haley McLaughlin. 23-22 left in the second half. And Duquette getting a quick drink of water, and she'll be checking back in momentarily for the Hornets.
That's one thing I don't like. I think if a kid comes out yellow card, I sit that kid, boy or girl, for a while.
Yeah. They don't do that anymore, though. How often?
Dale Hawksby does.
Dale still does?
He does.
Well, we did that game a couple of nights ago. I didn't. Was there any yellow cards? I don't even remember a yellow card.
No, I don't think so.
So it's. But Dale does. He'll sit him down for
and
let him stew for a few minutes. Yeah. That's not a bad thing. They lost a heartbreaker the other night to the Beekmantown Eagles. We'll be playing right after this against PHS, the boys. Oh, nice service from Waterbury. Oh, goes off the head of number 9, Rotes, and Beekmantown is going to get another corner kick. And checking that back into the game is number 4, Duquette for the Hornets, number 13, and Villamere, and number 11, Regan for Beekmantown. Coming off is Huber for Beekmantown, and number 4, Casey. And coming off is number 7 for the Hornets, McLaughlin. Beekmantown still up and putting some decent pressure on the second half. PHS really has not been able to get anything going in the second half. And another corner kick awarded to Beekmantown. I should say the undefeated Beekmantown Eagles, and PHS will love to nothing more than to stick one in it tonight, but they having a hard time getting out of their defensive zone right now. Nice corner kick from Waterbury. And it's going to be a goal kick awarded to PHS. He did a little better job defending that time.
there, Joe. We know how dangerous restarts are and what a scoring opportunity they are. I think I would have delayed taking Huber out, left her in there on the corner kick, and then
For the height.
Yeah,
Just for the height.
And the scoring ability.
I agree.
I agree. She got that scoring ability. Leave her in there on the corner kick, and then take her out in the next whistle.
She has nose for the ball. You're right. And over here comes Knight trying to get something going for the Hornets, and very good job by number 15 for Beekmantown Schwartz to stop that chance. And PHS going to get one of the first decent opportunities they've had here in this second half to get something on the board. You're going to see Beekmantown brings everybody back to defend. They have everybody up. They don't even care about a transition game. They just want to defend to keep this game at 1-0, and we're going to find out what's going to happen. And a nice kick from number 8, Tremblay. And Beekmantown does defend well, and number 15 for the Hornets trying to give chase to that one is Carlson. And Villamere does a better job giving chase, comes out with the ball. Villamere getting distance again. This is how Beekmantown scored their first goal. Villamere, look at Villamere flying by everybody. Villamere with a keeper one-on-one. Gets by the keeper. Oh my, and number 6 for Beekmantown goes wide with that. Rebecca Lapierre after a great run down the line by the transition game for Villamere. And that was very much like the first goal Beekmantown scored, only Huber was there to finish it. So Villamere deadly down that line, and they're just kicking the ball out of bounds. Well, they're not kicking the ball out of bounds. There's two balls there. So Beekmantown coming out with a great transition game with Villamere. Villamere actually could have taken that shot. Yeah. She could have taken that shot, and Neal come off her line. So great bouncing back and forth, and Curley going wide with the ball, and number 21 Senecal just sending it in, and number 10 for LeClaire defending well, and number 8 for the Hornets, Tremblay kicking it up, and everybody trying to decide what they're going to do with the ball, and that ball goes to absolutely nobody except for a Beekmantown player, which PHS did not want. And 17 is Peterson, or Kluke, or excuse me, Peterson, kicking the ball down. She's not 17, but I've mixed them up during the course of this game, and I'll keep doing that, I'm sure, but hard to see their players on the far side with ponytails and old age getting in the way of who these ladies are. And Huber, number 14, ready to check back in for Beekmantown. Still up 1-0, and another good chance for Beekmantown. And Lapierre for the Eagles will love to have that shot back. She almost had time to take a touch on that too. She didn't really have to first time it, but she got excited seeing the keeper way out of the net and the goal wide open. And still good work by Beekmantown coming off that transition game, and foul against the Hornets. And here's Kluke, number 17, with a set piece from distance. Kluke with a good service in the box and kicked out by the defense. Waterbury can't come up with it cleanly, and number 12, Peterson, kicks it up for Beekmantown. And here goes Villamere again, but she loses possession, but it's kicked out of bounds by PHS. Couple subs going in, like I said. Huber checking back into the game for Beekmantown, and number 4, Casey, coming off. Number 6, Lapierre, who had a great chance to give Beekmantown a 2-0 lead, and number 2, Jodoin. Both teams fighting for possession. It seems like the ball's staying in that side of the field too, and you can't say that's the wind.
No.
Yeah. Beekmantown's working the ball down on that side, in deep in that corner.
Players want to stay away from the coaches.
Or they could smell the Mickey fries over there, Get a good run on them after this game, but well, right now we still have a Beekmantown lead, 1-0 with 17:45 left in the second half of the George Brendler Field Class B Section 7 girls. PHS Beekmantown going at it. Beekmantown has 6 shots compared to 1 for the PHS Hornets. Beekmantown has 5 corner kicks to 1 for the PHS Hornets. And PHS has yet to really get anything going this half, Calvin. They have not challenged much. Beekmantown's playing very well. The midfield, Waterbury taking control. Peterson playing well. Kluke playing very well. And it's just they're keeping the ball up here in the zone of PHS. And here's a good chance for Beekmantown again. Huber just never backs down. And it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for Beekmantown PHS. And Knight lets the ball go out of bounds. I don't know why, but she did. And Beekmantown throws it in, and number 15 takes that one. Schwartz doing a good job for Beekmantown also. Playing good defense. The whole defensive unit for Beekmantown playing well. Good harassment by Huber. And number 3, Curley, can't do anything but kick it out of bounds. It just shows Hubert does play good defense as well as score goals. So good containment. Number 15, Schwartz for Beekmantown with a throw in on the near side, trying to find Huber. Huber kicks it up, and Curley kicks it in the air. And number 8, Madison Trombley, trying to get possession, but Waterbury for Beekmantown comes up with it and goes wide to the far side over to Regan. Regan has some space. And being challenged by 15 for the Hornets. Carlson goes off her foot, and Beekmantown's going to get a throw in on the far side with 15 minutes and 52 seconds left. Beekmantown trying to get another goal. They've been putting some halfway decent pressure on the PHS and just missing a great chances. Lapierre off of some great individual effort again by Villamere, coming off a corner kick from PHS. But PHS got lucky, I got to say. They were fortunate not to get scored on, because Neal come off her line and left the goal wide open. But PHS would rather be lucky than good at that point. And comes Brooke Knight. Trying to find number 6, Wilkins. Wilkins being challenged by Casey for Beekmantown. And Wilkins has some decent skill and speed, and it's going to be a goal kick for Beekmantown. Good defending by Beekmantown's number 4, Casey, against Wilkins. And going back into the game for the Hornets is McLaughlin, coming off number 8, Trombley, who's played a very good game for the Hornets herself. Both midfields have played well, but I have to give the nod to Beekmantown. Waterbury, Peterson playing well. Kluke playing very well. And this lady right here, Villamere, playing very well. Villamere to Kluke. Kluke with the ball. Just possess. That's the smart thing to do right there. Just possess. Just have a little better first touch, I think, but just possess the ball, and PHS decides not to possess the ball and kicks it out of bounds. And kind of a weak throw in, and goes right to PHS player, and they're going to call a bad throw in on her. And what's going to happen here? Surprised they're going to give it back to her. Normally they don't. And Knight for PHS trying to get something going, being challenged by Waterbury. Knight in the far side with possession. Waterbury trying to challenge her. Knight puts on a good move, trying to go into the box, and good team defense by Beekmantown. I got to get that girl's number because she's far away, but that was a good play to stop Knight. Knight has some good speed. That might be Regan again. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. Maybe we should get a spotting scope or something up here, because it's a long distance and it's not going to get any better when we play and get in the PHS field tomorrow night, because it's even farther away. We'll let Joey Trombley make those mistakes. There's Kluke trying to go wide, up to Villamere. Villamere being challenged by Senecal for the Hornets, and it goes off Senecal, and it's going to be a throw-in for Beekmantown, number 4, Casey. And she goes far with it, and it's kicked out of bounds by Senecal again. And Beekmantown with another throw-in. Beekmantown just taking her time, keeping some pressure on. Villamere up to Huber. Huber back to Kluke. Kluke over the middle of the field to Waterbury. Waterbury has space. Waterbury puts on a clever little move. She has some time up on the box. She takes a shot. And a good chance for Beekmantown on a good shot by Waterbury, and a good save by Neal, just punching it up in the air. Beekmantown applying some more pressure here with a 1-0 lead over the Hornets. 12 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second half. Beekmantown still applying pressure. Huber for the Eagles being challenged by, well, there was 3, now there was 2, then there was 1 defender for the Hornets, and the Hornets do come up with that one, and they will get a goal kick. Number 8 for the Hornets checking back into the game is Rotes, and number 11, Menard, up front. I don't think I've seen her.
With a gray Toyota Corolla license plate EGP 6899.
First to it here, first to it!
EGP
Last 12,
6899. You can move immediately. The car will be closed.
Come on, White.
And customer service announcement there.
Keep running, keep running, keep running!
And both these teams going at it, and Senecal and Huber. And number 8 for the Hornets, Madison Tremblay, been dropped back to the sweeper spot by Coach Mulligan. And Callie Villamere trying to do something with it, and Casey for Beekmantown gets possession, being challenged by Knight. And Beekmantown does get possession with Kluke going on a nice square ball over to Waterbury. Waterbury trying to get something going, and defended well by number 15 Carlson, and it goes off foot of Kluke and into the hands of the keeper for the PHS, Neal. She lets her team get set up. Beekmantown winning pretty much every ball now, and playing well. And on the far side, 11, Regan playing very well. Regan with a quick throw-in, trying to find the speedster Villamere, and well shielded by Tremblay. And there's a goal kick for PHS. Beekmantown still playing a ton of pressure with about 10 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second half. Beekmantown still retaining that early 1-goal lead against the Hornets. Class B, Section 7, girls final at the George Brendler Field. November 4th, 2011. My name is Joe Poisson on the microphone. Calvin Castine on the camera for Hometown Cable. Both these teams playing very well, and 19 kicks it up Bull. Doing a great job for the Eagles this afternoon. All the defense for Beekmantown doing very well. The midfield playing very well. The offense playing well. Only 1 goal to score to show for it, but PHS playing some tough defense of their own. And going in for the Hornets, number 21 Senecal, and number 7 coming off McLaughlin. PHS trying to do something, and goes off foot of Beekmantown, and another PHS thrown on the far side. Coming up to number 9, Rotes. Rotes does have some good talent, one of the captains for the Hornets, and she's taken off the ball by Villamere. Villamere all over the field. And 17, Lion doing a decent job for the Hornets on the right side of the defense. I think I've called her Senecal a few times. Didn't mean to. I'm sorry about that, Miss Lion. And Huber trying to send one in the middle to Villamere. Villamere always seems to get possession of the ball one way or another. The freshman Beekmantown Eagle having a great game. She's all over the place. Her and Huber, they don't just score goals and play offense. They play defense. Good defense up there too. Ooh, and goes off the back of number 6 Wilkins for the Hornets, and it'll be a quick throw in for Beekmantown. Casey takes it, trying to find Huber, goes off her head. And Duquette, we're going to take a throw in for the Hornets. Gets a quick one in, trying to find Wilkins, but it goes off the foot of Beekmantown's Casey. And throw in for the Hornets once again. There goes Duquette once again in the Hornet into traffic. Waterbury misses it, and 15 for Beekmantown sends it downfield. Schwartz. And Huber does get possession like she usually does. Good speed, good size, and good skill. Both those young ladies up front for the Beekmantown Eagles. Deadly anytime they get the ball. And Kluke with the ball for Beekmantown, but she loses possession. And a slick little move here by Knight on this side of Wilkins. And he's telling Coach Mulligan, telling everybody up, they do have to get up. They got to get a goal. Nice feed right there from Wilkins. And Wilkins gets possession back in, and she chips it over to the far side, over to 21 Senecal. Senecal sending it out to the near side, trying to find Knight. And Knight loses ball, and 15 Schwartz does a good job defending. She's going to take a throw in here with 7 minutes and 15 seconds left. Coach Mulligan telling his team to get up. Everybody get up. It doesn't matter. At this point, they do need a goal, and they got to put a ton of pressure on Beekmantown. And Villamere challenging for that ball. She goes down, and no call. It's a good call at that time. And Curley with some good play and quick throw and trying to find Knight, and defended well again by Beekmantown. That'll be number 12 for Beekmantown, Peterson, playing very well for the Eagles. Ready to check into the game for Beekmantown, number 6, Lapeer. Throwing for PHS, and now it's going to go out of bounds. Going to be a Beekmantown throw-in with 6 minutes and 32 seconds left. PHS, they do have to push it up. It does not matter at this point. They need a goal, and they get scored on it by this position of the game. It doesn't matter. We got to get the tie. He played well. Beekmantown has played extremely well this second half, not to allow PHS any good looks at the goal. And good job right there by Wilkins to bound that ball off Casey, and Wilkins is going to take a throw in for PHS. Missed everybody and kicked up. Jess Huber for Beekmantown gets possession and challenged hard by number 9 Rotes, but still retaining possession, and she goes to the far side finding Regan. Regan tries to send it up to the middle to Lapeer, and a good job right there by Lyon for PHS. PHS just kicks it up, goes off the defender number 12 Peterson. Excuse me, that would be number 10 Putnam. Into the arms of O'Connor, the keeper for Beekmantown, taking a few seconds off and headed back in by PHS. Knight trying to get something going. Good defense by good, I got to say, Beekmantown, they play good swarming defense. They really do. You watch them, they're around the ball all the time. Even the offense, of Huber and Villamere, they get after the ball. Even if they don't have it, they get after the ball. And that's what if you teach players anything, even if you don't get the ball, get after it. You can create a lot of opportunities. Just contain and knock the team off their rhythm. Beekmantown has been doing a good job, but PHS is pulling everybody up. I don't know if I'd even have these 5 ladies back there, Calvin. I'd have just 1 or 2. It doesn't matter at this time. Granted, you got Villamere and Huber, but who cares? You got to go and try to pound one in, and 1-0. It doesn't matter. And Mulligan exhorting his team to put some pressure on him, and the defense of Beekmantown stands tall. And number 4 sending it back in is Duquette, and comes back out from Beekmantown. And 17 for PHS Lyon. They take a throw-in. Lyon goes down the line, goes over the head of Wilkins, and kicked out by 15 Schwartz, who's played a good game. Lyon again with a throw-in. Kicked out by Beekmantown's defense and kicked back in by number 8 Trombley. Trying to find Rotes. Rotes being challenged by Kluke, and she gets it up to, and Curley taken down hard. Curley was making a good move, but Curley, a great spot here with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. Second half for PHS. Number 8 Madison Trombley, who can send this a distance. Great chance for a restart here. And a good ball. Oh my! And PHS missed a golden opportunity to set in this game. I don't know about overtime, but they could have tied it. They had a great ball right there. And you got to give number 6 for the Hornets, Wilkins, credit. She's playing hard. Beekmantown taking a few seconds off the clock. Just about 3 minutes left in the second half. Beekmantown withstood the best chance PHS has had this half. So Coach Mulligan exhorting his team, the Hornets, to push it up, bring everybody up. And that's what they have to do. And that ball, I don't know if that ball even went in, but they will get their throw in. And number 15 Schwartz with a throw in. And here we go with number 3 Curley trying to get something going. And 13 Villamere goes off her foot and sent downtown by Lyon, and in the middle The ever-present Kluke for Beekmantown sending it downtown. And 15 is Carlson fighting with Huber. And far side Regan sending one in for Beekmantown, and Huber here with a decent chance. Villamere, oh, nice stop by Neal coming off her line. Beekmantown putting some pressure on, back and forth action here in the last couple minutes. PHS getting a little desperate. Everybody has to come up. Good defense by Regan on that far side. And number 9, Rotes, has other ideas, and for some reason she just sent it out of bounds, because that does waste some time with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Beekmantown 1, PHS nothing. And PHS goes out of bounds again, and PHS having a hard time keeping that ball in place, which is what they should be doing. The ball is out on that far side of the field once again, Calvin. It's like it's been there the second half. Pretty much the whole, a lot of it, I should say. And here comes Kluke. Kluke can get over to Casey. Casey getting a huge shot off, and Neal has to hurry to get this ball out. We have just over 1 minute left in second half action. PHS has to bring everybody up. Mulligan, Coach Mulligan for PHS waving them up. Everybody up. And number 8, Trombley, trying to send it up. And Regan for Beekmantown intercepts that, taking her time. And it goes off the foot of Senecal, and it goes deep in the zone of Beekmantown and goes out of bounds. And Beekmantown will get a throw in. Take your time, and we have 40 seconds left here. Beekmantown milking some time with this throw in. Wisely. Ever-present Kluke, it goes off her, actually goes off PHS. Throwing for Beekmantown on the far side, and PHS is going to get a throw on, and are throwing in 22 seconds left. And what can PHS do with this? This is going to be probably our last run, and to get it going. And good job here by Villamere. All Villamere has to do is send this one forward, and she is taken down hard, but to no avail. And Beekmantown is going to win the Class B Girls Section 7 Championship, and congratulations to the Beekmantown girls. They were undefeated all year, and they brought that in here. This is a hard-fought game with PHS keeping it low scoring. You know, Beekmantown winning 1-0 on the early goal. You know, and having to getting some good chances. You know, I do think the better team did win, Calvin. You know, granted the score was only 1-0, so, you know, bringing a kind of a moral victory, I think, for PHS. They got beat 4-0 both games, and losing only 1-0 is, I guess it's a moral victory of sorts, but, you know, they did not score in 3 games, so you got to give the defense of PHS, you know, a lot of credit. You know, they only allowed, one shot the whole game on the scoreboard. I think they might have had more. We're going to find out in tomorrow's paper. But on the scoreboard here was the shots on goal favored the Eagles of Beekmantown 9-1. So, you know, congratulations to Coach Aaron Norris and the Beekmantown Eagles. They will go on to regional play. They will find out who they're going to be playing and where and when. And probably game will be next Tuesday. So if anybody can make it down, you're going to watch Beekmantown play.
Plattsburgh's a little slow to get over here.
Yeah, I know. They're not happy, and it's just the way it is. You know, congratulations for both teams for a well-played game. But Beekmantown will go on in regional play, and I think they're going to represent Section 7 very well. And, as Calvin always likes to say at the end of these broadcasts,
right after Keith Raines gives.
Oh, after we're going to have Keith Raines give his speech. He is the Section 7 girls representative. He's a chairman, I should say. All right, if you got to give a player of the game to Calvin, who would you give it to?
Oh boy, I don't know, either Huber or Villamere.
They were all over the place.
Yeah.
I thought Kluke played an excellent game in the middle field, and Waterbury also.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
it was a team effort.
There was a very much team effort. You know, I'll give my nod to the midfield Waterbury. You know, the midfielder. She did a great job both sides of the ball. So, Calvin, you're going to give it to Huber or Villamere. I'll give it to one of those 3 ladies either. So it's just a good team effort by Beekmantown, and congratulations to them. winning the Section 7 Girls Class B Championship, and good job by them. And they will, like I said, they will represent Section 7 very well. And as Calvin always says, that's the way it was in beautiful downtown Chazy.